When you create or find an image, you're going to realize that the aspect ratio, or the width and height of that image, is going to likely be dependent on who created the image or what type of device was used to take the image. Okay? Now, one of the requirements is, or for your image, one of the requirements is your image needs to be 400 by 400 pixels exactly. So each of the 5 images you're going to use in this exercise, each will be 400 by 400 pixels exactly. So let's go ahead and make that happen. So this image, we know that this image, if I look at it right here in the transform information, that we are dealing with 2550 by 1930. Now I can select, actually I can turn this option on or off, and I could link the two or not link the two as far as the width and the height. The X and the Y, that is where the image begins right up here at this particular time. So in the transform, we can change these numbers and then press enter or return, and that will change the size of our image. Now, a couple of things we can do first, and we can do some transformations. And if we get the first tool, this is our move tool, which also allows us to make transformations. So we can obviously move our image. We can grab one of the corners, and if I just click and drag, we can transform. If I hold the shift key, we will constrain the transform. Okay. We should be able to undo, which is in this case Command Z on a Mac, and we would go back. I can grab the corner and rotate. Again, we will undo. We can grab one of the corners and hold the Option key, and our transformation will be from the middle of the image. If I add to, or while holding the Option key, the Shift key, then I will constrain the transformation, as well as the transformation will be from the center. So Command Z again, and we will get back to our default size. Okay, so you have some basic transformations. You can use the move tool. You can also use edit, free transform, or transform, and experiment with the different options as far as transforming your selected element. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click on the commit the transform, and before I scale my image, I want to get rid of some of the parts of this image. So there's not sort of a traditional crop tool. There is, in the sense right here, we can crop or perspective crop, but this is going to work on the entire document. All right, and what I want to do is I want to crop the image of the truck. So I'll go and get the move tool. Okay, just to, I should say not the move tool, but underneath the move tool, I'm going to use the rectangle marquee tool. And this is a tool we use to select pixels of one of our elements. Now I have the layer of the truck selected, so I'm going to go underneath the image here, and I'll see that I actually had a fixed size. So what I'm going to do is up here change the fixed size to normal. Yours might already be set to normal. And then I'll do a Command D to deselect. Again, keep in mind I'm using a Mac. I'll often say Command. If you're using a PC, I believe you would use the Control key. All right. All right, so I'm also going to make sure that the feather is set to 0. So now I'm going to click and drag like so. And again, I'm going to make sure that my layer that I want to work with is selected. and then just delete. So you can just press the delete key. I'm going to now start on the outside and come in like so and delete. And I'll get rid of some of this side and delete. Okay, and then we can Command D to deselect. And you'll see that obviously now if I go and get my move tool, and just so we're all on the same page, when I have the move tool selected, I have auto select checked. The option of what we're going to be working with is our layer, and I want to make sure I'm showing the transform controls. So when this element is selected, I want to be able to see those transform controls. All right, so now we have done a basic crop of our image.